My hair was stuck at the same length for years until I discovered the secret that finally grew my hair to hip length. So if your hair just won't grow past a certain point, then this video will change everything for you. Hi my loves, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. Here in this channel we talk about relaxed hair growth tips, protective styling, and anything hair related. So if you know you're interested in this type of content, please consider subscribing to join the family. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I grew my hair past a growth plateau. And if you're currently in a growth plateau, you can actually use these tips to grow your hair past that plateau. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. So I'm going to start by sharing with you guys why a growth plateau happens. So a growth plateau usually happens when your hair growth rate is equal to the rate at which your hair breaks. So there is positive length retention, whereby the rate at which your hair grows is faster than the rate at which it breaks. Okay, so let's say for example your hair grows about 1 inch per month and it breaks off about 0.5 inch every month. At the end of every month, you are going to retain an extra 0.5 inches, which is a positive length retention, thereby leading to longer hair. But if the rate at which your hair breaks is faster than the rate at which your hair grows, then you are going to have a negative length retention, where instead of your hair getting longer, it's going to be getting shorter. So for example, let's say your hair grows about 0.5 inches a month, and then at the end of every month it breaks off about 1 inch. It means that at the end of every month you are going to be losing 0.5 inches in length, meaning your hair is going to be getting shorter, which is a negative length retention. Now we have the neutral length retention, where your hair is not getting shorter, it's not getting longer. So this is what we call a growth plateau, and it usually results when your hair growth rate is equal to the rate at which your hair breaks. So let's say for example your hair is growing 1 inch per month and is also breaking off 1 inch per month, you are going to have a growth plateau. And in order to get out of this plateau, the focus is not going to be on hair breakage, because there is so little you can do about your hair growth rate. Your hair growth rate is genetically programmed, so no matter what you do, it may have little or no effect on it. So you will see the most results if you focus on reducing breakage as much as possible. So the things I did to get my hair out of a growth plateau were targeted towards this, and the first thing was increasing the duration of my protective styles. You guys know that protective styling is my holy grail when it comes to length retention, growing my hair, and all of that. Like if you're an OG and if you've been watching my videos, following my channel over the years, you know that I literally preach protective styling on my channel. So when I started my hair journey, I was already installing protective styles, but usually I'll carry them for 6 weeks, and I continued doing this until I got stuck at mid-back length. So my growth plateau happened at mid-back length, and I was stuck at mid-back length for about 2 years if I'm not mistaken. So I didn't even know that I was at a growth plateau, but after a couple of pictures and as the months and the years went by, I realized that my hair was still at the same length. So this was when I started changing a lot of things, and the first thing I did was to increase the duration of my protective styles. So instead of 6 weeks, I now started carrying my protective styles for longer duration. From 6 weeks I went to 2 months, from 2 months 3 months, 4 months, and now I can even carry my protective styles for 5 months. So yeah, that's how serious it is. So just this simple act of increasing the duration of my protective styles made a significant difference, and that is why I actually put it as number 1, because breakage usually occurs when you manipulate your hair, when you are combing, when you are tugging on it from friction and all of that. So what protective styling does is to reduce this manipulation to the barest minimum. So the only time I'm manipulating my hair is when I'm either moisturizing my protective styles, or taking down my protective style, or washing my hair, or installing another protective style. And this reduced the opportunity for me to manipulate my hair to the barest minimum, which eventually led to a reduction in breakage and length retention. So moving on, the second thing I did was increase the duration of my relaxer stretches. I always say that if you have 2 things that helped me grow my hair to hip length, is protective styling and relaxer stretches, and that is why I don't joke with both of them. Almost every time you either catch me on a relaxer stretch challenge or a protective style challenge. In fact, I'm currently on both. I am currently on a 10 months relaxer stretch challenge, and I am also currently on a protective style challenge, and I've been sharing updates on that with you guys on the channel, so in case you missed the videos you can check them out. So initially I used to stretch my relaxers for 3 months prior to the plateau, but after I hit that growth plateau, I decided to stretch my relaxers even further. So from 3 months I went to 4 months, from 4 months I think I went to 5 or 6 months. From there I went to 8 months, then from 8 months I did a 1-year relaxer stretch. After the 1-year relaxer stretch, I kind of took a step back and was just kind of enjoying my hair. So during that period, I think I was doing like 4 months to 6 months relaxer stretches. Then after that, I did another long relaxer stretch, and this time was 16 months. So that was my last relaxer stretch. So my last relaxer stretch was 16 months, and that is the longest ever I have gone on a relaxer stretch. And now currently I am on a 10 months relaxer stretch. So increasing the duration of my relaxer stretches actually played a huge role in growing my hair to hip length, and one of the ways I made this so easy is by doing it gradually. So from 3 months I went to 4 months, from 4 months I went to 5-6 months, from that I went to 8 months, from 8 months to 12 months, from 12 months to 16 months, and yeah, now currently a 10 months relaxer stretch. So if you want to increase the duration of your relaxer stretches or even your protective styles, you have to make sure to do it gradually so that you give your hair enough time to adapt. If not, instead of length retention, you are going to be getting breakage. So if you decide to jump from 3 months relaxer stretches to now wanting to attempt an 8 months relaxer stretch, instead of length retention, you are going to be getting breakage because you have not given your hair and yourself enough time to adapt, make changes, and get used to it. Apart from the fact that you need to give your hair time to adapt, you also want to give yourself time to adapt, because if you are used to taking care of only 3 months worth of new growth, how do you expect to suddenly gain the knowledge and the skills to manage 8 months worth of new growth? Sis, you have to give yourself time to learn, time to make changes. The regimen I used when I was stretching my relaxers for 3 months is not the same regimen I used when I stretched my relaxer for 16 months. So there are going to have to be changes, and you want to give yourself time to make those changes and to adapt to those changes. So that is why you have to do them gradually. Okay, so yeah guys, that was the second thing I did, and by increasing the duration of my relaxer stretches, it made me reduce the risk of overlapping my relaxers. So when your new growth is not that much, for example, if you do 6 weeks or 8 weeks relaxer stretches, and at the end of the relaxer stretch you have just about 1 inch worth of new growth, when you are applying the relaxer, there is the risk that relaxer is going to get on your previously relaxed hair, because there is so little room for you to work with. And when you overlap your relaxers, this is going to lead to over processed hair, which will eventually weaken your hair and lead to breakage. So in order to avoid this, you want to make sure that when you relax your hair, you have enough room to work with, and that is where relaxer stretches come in. With relaxer stretches, you have a lot of new growth, you have a lot of inches to apply the relaxer on, that the risk of applying the relaxer to your previously relaxed hair is reduced. So this is how increasing duration of your relaxer stretches can help prevent breakage and help you grow past a growth plateau. Moving on, the third thing I did was to change my hair products. Okay, so it was when I got to that growth plateau that I knew a lot of things about hair care. In fact, when I got to that growth plateau, I realized that the products I was using at that moment were not healthy. I changed a lot of things, like I changed a lot of products. So started from my relaxer, yeah, that was the first thing I changed. So before then I used to use a light relaxer, and the one I used to use was Relax. And guys, I didn't even know the damage that this relaxer was doing to my hair until I changed it, because I realized later on that my hair started getting brown. When I started my hair journey, my hair was very dark, like jet black, but after I started using Relax, it was getting brown. And before I changed my relaxer, I didn't even know where the issue was coming from. I started taking guesses. I was like, is it the sun, is it the products, or is it just that my hair is supposed to change color naturally over time? But after I changed my relaxer, I realized that it was actually the relaxer. So I changed to a no light relaxer, the Prophetic Mega Growth Relaxer Super Strength, which I still use to this day. So ever since I started using that relaxer, I have had no issues whatsoever. The relaxer was perfect for my hair, the strength was perfect for my hair, so I just stuck with that, and that is the relaxer I still use today. So outside my relaxer, I started incorporating things like moisturizers, deep conditioners, more healthy shampoos into my regimen. Prior to then, I didn't really used to properly deep condition my hair. I used a very cheap shampoo and an instant conditioner, which I realized were not the healthiest for my hair. So this was when I started researching healthier options, and that was when I started using products like the Glitter Water shampoo. That was when I came across the Prophetic Mega Growth line, and the moisturizer from the Prophetic Mega Growth line, I still use that as my leave-in conditioner and moisturizer up till this day. So yeah, basically I changed my products to healthier options. Okay, so moving on, the next thing I did was experiment a lot. Like before I got the regimen that started working, I did a lot of experimentations, guys. Like you wouldn't even believe, every week I was trying something new. It got to a point that I was washing my hair every week. Like before I started increasing the duration of my protective styles and increasing the duration of my relaxer stretches, I tried washing my hair every week, deep conditioning my hair every week, because that was what was trending at that point. So I did a lot of that. That was when I tried things like rice water. And before I started using the Prophetic Mega Growth Moisturizer, I was using water, just water, to moisturize my hair, and then I'll seal with olive oil. So I tried a lot of things. Some of them worked, some of them didn't really work. Okay, so for example, the rice water was great. Like it made my hair feel so much stronger, and I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but I feel like it also made my hair darker. So yeah, rice water was actually very helpful for my hair. I didn't continue with it. I think the reason I didn't continue was because of the smell. Okay, so but outside that, it was very, very nice on my hair. And if you are actually looking for DIYs to use for your hair to get healthier hair, stronger hair, and all of that, rice water is actually a very good option. Using just water and an oil to moisturize my hair actually did wonders for my hair, especially when it came to taking down my protective styles. Okay, so that was when I started moisturizing my hair before taking down my protective styles, and I started by using just water and olive oil to do this. So this was actually very helpful. Okay, but doing things like washing my hair every week, that didn't really do anything for my hair. I didn't really see any benefit with washing and deep conditioning my hair every week. So that was why I had to take a step back, reassess. So after trying something for a period, I'll step back, reassess what's working, what is not working, make modifications, and I just kind of continued the whole process until I finally found something that worked. Okay, so when you are trying to create a regimen or build your routine in order to see positive results, you have to be ready to experiment a lot, especially when you are not getting the results you want or the results your hair needs. Okay, because it's not a one size fits all. Someone else's routine may not work for you. The routine that worked for me may not work for you, and the routine that worked for you may not work for me. Okay, so many people say that washing and deep conditioning their hair weekly was what worked for them. I tried it and it didn't work for me. So you have to find something that works for you, that works for your hair, that works for your lifestyle. Okay, so before you get that, you have to be ready to experiment. Moving on, the next thing I did was research. I researched and researched and researched to the point that I was dreaming about hair care. Like if you opened my YouTube at that point, all the videos on my homepage would be related to hair care, either relaxed hair or natural hair, how to get your hair longer, products to use, all of that. My homepage on YouTube was literally flooded with those type of videos. That was how serious it was. Okay, so I was always on YouTube, I was always on Google. Like it literally became an obsession at that point. So most of the things I later picked up and most of the modifications I later did were got it from YouTube. Okay, so I did not just get it from one person. Like I said, it's not a one size fits all. You can't just literally copy and paste another person's regimen or routine and expect to get the same results 100%. You may get the same result, but you may also not get the same result. So I built my regimen and my routine, gathered my products after watching tons of videos. So what I did was to pick something from this person, pick another thing from another person, pick another from the third person, and compiled everything to build my regimen and my routine. Okay, so you have to be ready to research, to educate yourself about hair care, because if I didn't research and educate myself, I wouldn't have gotten to this stage, and all the knowledge I know about hair care today, I wouldn't have known that, and I may have probably just given up. So my journey to hip length was not a walk in the park, but I didn't really see it as challenging because it was fun for me and I was actually enjoying the process, like the whole researching and all of that. Like for me, it gave me joy and it was fun for me to just open my YouTube and watch hair related videos. Some people see it as a lot of work. Some people feel it is too stressful for you to be going on YouTube or for you to go on Google and research about hair care. But says nothing good comes easy. If it's worth it, you have to be willing to put in the work to get the results that you want. So you have to be ready to research and educate yourself about hair care in order to solve your current hair problems and to get the results that you want. Okay, so moving on, the next thing I did was to be patient. I have been on my hair journey now for 10 years and I am currently still on that journey. Okay, so don't think you will wake up one day and because you decided that you are going to be serious with your hair journey this year, then you magically grow your hair from shoulder length to hip length in 1 year. It doesn't work like that, sis. Okay, you have to be patient with the whole process, and you also have to be patient when you have a setback. Okay, so imagine when I got to a growth plateau after trying 1 or 2 things, I gave up and said, nah, my hair is not going to grow past this length, let me just accept that. I would not be at hip length today. Okay, so you have to continue, be patient, and just enjoy the journey and have fun. Okay, so whether you are seeing progress or not, just be patient, and with time you get the result you are looking for. It's not about the end goal, it's not about the end result, it's not about getting your hair to hip length. Yeah, we should all have goals when it comes to our hair, like what you want the health of your hair to be, what you want the length of your hair to look like, but that does not mean that everything is going to be about that goal, about hitting that end result. It should be about the journey. Have fun along the way. If not, honestly, you are going to get tired, you're going to get frustrated, because a hair growth journey is not a walk in the park. It is not a bed of roses. And if you're not willing to have fun along the way and not obsess over the end goal or the end result, you are likely going to give up along the way. Okay, so instead of obsessing about hitting tailbone length or hitting hip length or getting your hair longer, why not enjoy the journey? Like, just have fun along the way. Have fun with your products, with your regimen, with your routines, and even if you are not seeing results, have fun with the experimentations, and before you know it, you are getting the results that you want. Okay, so you have to be patient because your hair is not going to grow to hip length overnight. Okay, so moving on, the next thing I did was to be consistent. Like, I have always tried as much as possible to be consistent with my hair care regimen and routines. So whether I'm seeing results or not, I always try to be consistent. So many people give up after a short period just because they didn't see the results they want, but since it doesn't work that way, everything you do for your hair over time literally compounds to give you the results that you want. So you have to be consistent in order to see progress, and that's why for me, hair care is like a lifestyle. It's like part of who I am. It's like part of what I do. Like, normally, just like you would wake up and brush your teeth normally, or just like you eat every day, it's like part of my lifestyle already. So that is how you should take it in order for you to be more consistent. And that is why I said you have to have fun and not see it like a chore. Just enjoy the process. If you are enjoying it, you are more likely to be consistent with it than when you are treating it like a chore. And that is why I always say in my previous videos that you have to create something simple, something you know you can stick with. Don't go and create a complicated regimen just because you want to see maximum results in a year. If you do that and it's not something you can keep up with and you crash in 2 months, what was the use of that? So instead of that, create something simple that works, that you know you will be able to stick with, instead of trying to get maximum results by creating a complicated regimen that you know you cannot stick with. Okay, so create something simple that works and stick with that, because with that you are more likely to be consistent compared to when you try to create a complicated regimen. Okay, so yeah guys, these are the things I did to get my hair out of a growth plateau, and immediately I did all these things I saw tremendous results, and my hair just grew non-stop from mid-back length till hip length and tailbone length. In fact, after my last relaxer stretch, that's my 16-month relaxer stretch, I even got to butt length, but I had to trim my hair, and after the trim my hair went back to between hip length and tailbone length. So sis, anything is possible. There's nothing like my hair can never grow past shoulder length, my hair can never grow past bra strap length. It is a plateau, and it just means that the rate at which your hair is breaking is faster than the rate at which your hair is growing. So if you can find a way to curtail and prevent that breakage, you'll be able to get your hair out of that plateau. Okay, so yes, it's possible for you to grow your hair out of the plateau. So let me know in the comment section down below if you are currently in a plateau and what length your plateau is currently at. If you're at shoulder length, let me know in the comment section down below. If it's mid-back length, let me know in the comment section down below. And also let me know what tip you'll be trying from this video in order to get your hair out of that plateau. Okay, so yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here and you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing to join the family, and don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so yeah guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.